What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are here for the first time, welcome to my channel. My name is Assam from dopelifecoaching.com, and today I'm going to be talking about an interesting topic because it literally just crossed my mind before making this video by a couple of hours, and I thought to myself, why not just make it for you guys? The topic is going to be what men should look for in a woman. Now, so you see, I'm still single at this point, and even though I'm giving all this dating advice, you might be thinking, how are you so sure your stuff works? Well, to answer your question, bro, I do know it works, but the reason why I'm still single is because I haven't found the woman who has these traits that I'm about to discuss with you in this video, and because of that, I'm very selective. Not because I'm arrogant or misogynistic like a lot of these haters are claiming I am, unfortunately, but that's just the truth. So anyways, man, make sure you stay tuned, watch the video until the very end to gain the most possible out of the video. What's going on, guys? My name is Assam from dopelifecoaching.com, and today I'm going to be talking about what things should a man look for in a woman. Now, if it's your first time on this channel, man, and you want consistent updates on similar content like this, do yourself a favor and hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell icon so you don't miss a single thing in the future. So generally speaking, the things that you should look for in a woman should be the classic feminine traits. Why? Because the feminine traits are attracted by nature to the masculine traits, and those create the best type of connection between the man and the woman. So here are the classic feminine traits: being nurturing, being verbal, being submissive to the man's lead. No, this is not misogynistic. It's just basic, evolutionary biology or whatever you call it, or behavioral biology, whatever. Being emotional, wanting to bond, all these things. Those things are universally found in a feminine energy. Most women exhibit that feminine energy as opposed to men to exhibit masculine energy. So number one, receptivity. Guys, a woman who's receptive to your ideas, to your plans, to your thoughts, is always going to give you a more rewarding companionship, friendship, connection, relationship, whatever you call it. She's always going to give you more of those and better quality of those as opposed to a woman who's challenging you 24/7. Now, of course, there's no such thing as two people who agree on literally every single thing and are not different in anything. However, if she is receptive to you, not necessarily agrees with everything you say, but is receptive to your plans, receptive to your way of thinking, receptive to just your viewpoints on life as a man, as opposed to challenging every goddamn thing you're saying, when you come across a woman who's more receptive, those are going to give you the better connections because it just allows things to flow more easily. A woman at the end of the day who's very feminine is going to want a man who's very masculine. A man who's very masculine is going to be very bold, very direct, very purpose-driven, very mission-driven, very driven to overcome any barriers that stand in his way, any challenges that stand in the way of his goal. But when you have a woman who's encouraging your ideas, who's receptive to your ideas, who's receptive to the plans when you take her out, who's receptive to you, taking the lead and making a move on her, those are going to be the most effortless relationships for you, as opposed to a woman who's literally going to be challenging every goddamn word you say. You should stay away from women like these, bro, because I've been around those myself, and to be completely honest, they are not fun at all. Number two, a woman who wants to bond. Guys, bonding is a very feminine trait. Here's what this means. If a woman, for example, hasn't heard from you in like a day or whatever, and she just wants to reach out just because she wants to reach out and she wants more of your love, she kind of wants to receive more of your love, more of your masculine energy, that's a feminine move to make. And again, this is nature taking its course. This doesn't mean that the rules are for you to say this and for you to do this and for you to act this way, but for her to act this way. No, this is just nature. And so when you have a woman who is just naturally just wants to bond with you, she wants to see what you're up to, she wants more of your love, that's going to be a more effortless relationship. Or a woman whom you're not even in a relationship with, but she wants to bond with you. She's very there's something, it's like a different type of energy coming out of her. Those are the women you should stick to, bro, because again, in my experience and from what I've dealt with, those were the best type of relationships, or best type of even like flings or companionships, whatever you call them, with the women I was with, as opposed to the women whom expected the guy to do everything, expected the guy to just chase. Oh yeah, the guy's supposed to chase, the guy's supposed to do this, the guy's supposed to do that. Now that's not entirely wrong, but at the end of the day, man, women who are so strict and so set in their ways and so programmed to what their parents tell them and to what their friends tell them, and despite the fact that their parents and their friends may very well be divorced or have no history of success in their relationships, unfortunately, they still listen to them because that's all they know. That's all the information they've been fed ever since they were very young. And of course, predictably, they repeat it. And the same patterns repeat themselves. The next trait, being submissive to the man's lead. Guys, here's what I mean by submissive. When a man takes the lead and she follows because she trusts him, not because she has no opinions, not because she's any worse than him, that is submitting. And that is not a derogatory term like a lot of these people who I'm claiming I'm misogynistic, or a lot of these dating coaches, or some of these dating coaches are misogynistic. That's not misogynistic. A feminine woman by nature would want to submit to a man's lead. This doesn't mean she has no opinions. It just means she trusts him and she's letting go and she's being herself, her true feminine self. That's what feminine energy is about. Submitting to the man's lead, not just anything, not just being slapped around like they may think if they're watching this video right now. Because at the end of the day, man, there's a reason why a man is expected to pay on the first date. There's a reason why the man's expected to make the plans. Why? Because he's the man. You're supposed to make the plans. You're supposed to take her out on the first date, not her. She's not supposed to take you out. That's just kind of wrong. If a girl was to pick you up, obviously there are exceptions to the rule, but if the girl was to just pick you up and she has everything planned, sure, that might be cool every once in a while, but that's kind of out of the norm. It doesn't really feel natural. There's a reason why the man should pay on the first date, because he's the man, he takes the lead. These aren't things that society tells us. These are things that we're naturally supposed to do as men. Men take the lead at the end of the day. Women want that. Feminine women, that is. Some women are naturally masculine, and hey, in their case, they're going to want to take the lead over the man. That might be their cup of tea, and I'm not one to judge, but it's just not for me. And that's not how it's supposed to work for most people who are naturally either masculine as men or naturally either feminine as women. The next trait, being emotional. Guys, when I say being emotional, I'm not necessarily talking about hysteria and just crying all the time. What I'm talking about is a girl you could kind of feel. A girl, you just feel her vibe. You feel, the type of energy she's trying to give off to you and the way she talks to you, if she's sweet versus not. At the end of the day, for me personally, I don't want a girl who's just cold and she just feels like, I don't feel anything from her. I'd rather an emotional girl, a girl who's very, in her feelings. That to me is very attractive. I am by nature attracted to these things. Not all men are, but based upon my experience, most men are. A woman who's kind of like, she feels soft to deal with. It's not rough. Her feelings are very, pure. They just flow from her. As opposed to a woman who's kind of like a block of ice and you go out with her on a date and she's so rooted and fixed in, certain wrong opinions or norms that either society taught her or her parents taught her. But for me personally, again, my most successful relationships have been with women whom, exhibit that type of behavior or characteristic. And lastly, a woman who is verbal. Guys, when I hear from a woman how much she likes me or how much she loves spending time with me, that's like music to my ears. I love hearing that. I love hearing that from a woman. I love hearing how much a woman likes me if she genuinely does. It's not just because it's an ego stroke, because I'm not going to lie and tell you that, oh, my ego is completely out of it. But it's just good to hear. A woman who's very verbal, a woman who says, I love you, a woman who says, I miss you, a woman who says, I want you to call me. I love the time I spent with you. Those are the types of women whom you're probably going to have a better connection with, because again, being verbal is a natural feminine trait. This doesn't mean that every woman is going to be talkative. It's not the same. I'm just saying verbal, when she opens up to you, when she gets close to you. That's very attractive to me, as opposed to a masculine trait, which is being analytical, not necessarily being verbal to the girl, telling you you miss her all the time, telling you you want to see her all the time. Sure, you can, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're feminine, but I'm just speaking generally. Masculine traits are more analytical, as opposed to feminine traits are more verbal. And that's what I'm attracted to based upon my experience. I could be wrong from some of you, but from my experience and from the people I've coached, it's been right, generally speaking. So guys, that's pretty much it. In my opinion, those are the traits that you should choose when you look for a woman whom you want to get serious with. Because at the end of the day, man, you want to be with a woman who's going to bring out the best in you and for you to bring out the best in her. Not a woman who's going to challenge you all the time and just make everything so difficult. Sure, she could challenge you in a playful way or every now and then, but if every single thing she does is challenge your beliefs and just be hard just for the sake of being hard and being, resisting everything you say, you don't want a woman like that. She's going to be very tough for you. I mean, at the end of the day, you do you, but I want an effortless relationship, not a relationship that's forced and just feels like way too much effort instead of flowing naturally. So that being said, man, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you show your support by hitting that thumbs up button. And also, if you want consistent updates on similar content just like this, do yourself a favor and hit the subscribe button, and also hit the bell icon so you don't miss a single thing in the future. Comment down in the comment section below for how this video helped you and on your opinion, and also on suggestions from you for videos that I should make, and I'd be way more than happy to cover them. Go to my website, www.dopelifecoaching.com. We still have free consultations for first-timers, dude, so make sure you take advantage of that offer. Now that's about it, man. I gotta run now. Those are my opinions, and from my experience, they've worked wonders, and that's why I've shared them with you. But let me know your thoughts, and I'm pretty sure you will agree with them, man. You got this. Peace.